aggressive inline, skateboarding, supercharged huge 540 sport climbing, bike stunt, full sports, 16 events, over 130 athletes, one enemy, gravity. The Disney Channel and ESPN Junior X Games 2, presented by Toyota. The future tense of extreme.
Sawadee Cup, I'm Jen and we're here in Phuket, Thailand for JX2.
Hi, I'm Dan and we're at the very beginning of day 3 of competition.
To review how it all works, there are 4 sports categories in a total of 16 sporting events, 4 in each category.
Each event will have a gold, silver and bronze medal, but after the last event, we'll be looking for the ones with the most points to be crowned the overall sports champions.
That's right, we'll be crowning the overall sports champions in aggressive inline, skateboarding, bicycle stunt and boys and girls sport climbing. And the overall champions will win a family trip for 4 to Disneyland.
And today, my friends, is the halfway point to finding out exactly who those champions will be.
So let's get it all going on day 3 of
JX2.
Get ready to go big with pro biker Koji Craft. The Flatlanders dance on 2 wheels, and the inliners race against the clock today on JX2. And hello again from beautiful Phuket on the 3rd day of Disney's JX2. Let's take a look at one of the reasons why the X Fever is spread throughout the island.
We like extreme!
I think you can do anything you put your mind to. Vert riding is going higher and doing big things. The flatland's all on the ground. It's just how you can balance your bike and stuff. Who's got more control? Start off like just learning wheelies and stuff like that. Learn how to get your back wheel off the ground and bunny hops. Then you can move on to like the more harder tricks like one-handers and one-footers, taking off arms and limbs, pretty much throwing yourself around. If you're not having fun, there's no point in doing it. Take it one step at a time. It takes time to do this. I've been doing it for like 6 years now. I'm riding my bike and having fun, and just that's all I do. It's a great life.
Bike stunt.
And that's Koji Craft, pro biker. We're here at the Flatland Finals now. A new event here at Junior X. Bruce, give us the rundown.
All right, we've got 2 runs each, 45 seconds per run. The judges are looking for the most fluid run out of 100.
And even though riding Flatland isn't perhaps as dangerous as riding vert or riding park, it's certainly a much more difficult discipline. These guys spend hours and hours and hours on their bikes day after day trying to get dialed in for these tricks. And, you know, where you may not have a park or a vert ramp to ride, you can always find a flat surface.
Competition is kind of cool. Thailand riders, they ride like crazy, man.
All right, the crowd on hand, ready to see the action, Bruce, and we've watched a little bit of the warm-up.
Yeah, and the Thai riders definitely the ones to watch out for. Don't have great access to ramps, but they've got lots of flat ground.
I'll tell you who else you want to watch out for is the Singaporeans, who have really been stepping up. And our first rider, Mukshin Kamaludin, 14 years old out of Singapore. Check him out doing that dance, scuffing that back tire right now.
You can just see how much practice these guys have to do. Imagine the balance necessary for these guys to just get onto those bikes. The feet don't want to touch the ground. The judges are looking for a fluid run where the feet don't touch the ground, and they just got to mix it up.
Well, judges are looking for these guys to link as many tricks as they possibly can within that time allotted. And again, every time a foot touches, they get scored down.
Score there for the first run of 86.33 for Mukshin.
And from Thailand, this is Komsom Derikrit, 14 years old.
Yeah, and Keith, obviously consistency counts. 2 runs, and we take the average score out of both of those runs.
All right, scuffing that back tire. Scuff tricks are pretty much a basic flatland maneuver, but when you get your bike up there on the end and you start spinning the bike or spinning the bars, you're adding new variations. And with flatland, really, it's an unlimited amount of tricks that you can put together. And this is really the discipline where it shows your personal style, because there really are no 2 flatland riders that ride the same.
The best thing is you can make up these tricks as you go along as well. If you go out practicing, you think of something new, you go ahead and do it. There's no real rules, no real regulations, except just keep it going.
85.67 points for Komsom. And we move on to Pitakpong Jiakain from Bangkok, Thailand, 15 years old.
Yeah, and you can see here, if you look closely at the sprocket on this bike, it's a very small sprocket. The reason for that, of course, is that these guys need to be able to get the power on straight away. They've got to have a smaller rotation on those cranks. When they come down, they've got to be able to pedal their way out of trouble, Keith.
Yeah, these aren't your long-haul bikes that you want to be riding on long trips with that small sprocket. It's really just to give them a little bit of little momentum.
Also,
small cranks.
Pegs.
Spinning it like a tornado right there, dropping 1 foot, scores him down just a little bit, but not bad, not bad. 90.33 points for Pitakong. All right, and our next rider, also representing Thailand, Akarin Romaniankun.
You can see once again starting on those back pegs, gets down a little scuff, just keeping the bike nice and moving there. Larger sprocket on his bike.
Well, what you're noticing is that is not a flatland only bicycle. That's not a flatland specific bike. He rides some other disciplines and he's basically just using his bike for everything he's got. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing says you have to go out and buy a flatland specific bike, especially if you're riding the other disciplines. You're going to want something that's versatile. How about the balance right there? Just coasting it right there, balancing on one side of the bike.
And a score of 84.33.
Exactly. All right, crowd definitely enjoying and appreciating that. How about a look at some of the other riders in the finals? See what they had to show. All right, we averaged the scores, and as you said, Bruce, watch out for the ties. 4 ties filling the top 5 spots here in the finals, and Pitakong Jekain earns the gold medal and 10 points towards the overall championship rounding out the heat. We got Malaysian, Thai, Singaporean, and a rider from Chinese Taipei.
Safety is #1.
No matter what you're doing, even if you're not even trying like really hard tricks, like it's always good to wear safety equipment.
Put on the pads.
You should wear all your pads. That's the most important thing.
Because you never know when you're going to take a bad fall.
Aggressive inline.
That's right, of course, safety first every time these guys go out there and hit the course. We're into the aggressive inline slalom final. 1 run, top 10 semi-finalists are in there. It's the fastest time is going to take home the gold.
Yeah, this is all about speed. You don't want to be going for air tricks. You don't want to be laying some grinds in and showing your style. This isn't the event for that. Flat out speed. You want to keep your wheels on the ground and you want to be pushing towards the finish line. Skaters padding up, and CJ Wellsmore, unfortunately, out of it with an injury, enjoying some time of the experience.
On the vert ramp, I slid down and I got second-degree burns on all over my head.
Yeah, definitely a shame there about CJ, but let's get on with the competition, Keith. It's all about speed.
And you don't even look back, do you? You just dive right into it. All right, here we go. Soichiro Kaneshima, our first skater, and this guy has been skating very well all week. And look at him, off to a good start. A little bit of air in the beginning, which doesn't help you a great deal. You got to keep your wheels on the ground to be making speed, Bruce.
Yeah, and you've got to be picking the right line. It's all about using those ramps as well. If you can get the right angle on those ramps, it's going to propel you and actually give you a nice, big, hard push into the next section.
All right, and pushing for the finish. Got to get up to the sub box. Again, airing it out over the launch will slow him down a little bit, but not a bad time there for Soichiro. 26.37 seconds. Nicholas Schopfer, representing Australia, 13 years old. Last year, the kid's moving around the world. Last year he was representing Thailand. He was living in Thailand. I believe he actually lives in Switzerland, but the family hails from Australia, and that's who he's representing here at the JX2.
You can see Nicholas trying to get a really tight line around that first planter box there, making sure he uses as little of the course as possible, because, of course, the less distance he covers, the more speed he can get.
Well, the skaters do need to be following the arrows. That pretty much guides them along the way they need to be skating, but definitely they've got to hold the line, and they want to make those turns nice and tight. They want to keep making speed at all times. Wheels on the ground.
Yeah, good time for Nicholas, just ahead of Soichiro there. It's going to be a very tight final.
All right, one of our standout skaters. How about Surawat Bumrumkit from Bangkok, Thailand?
Lots of air over that first jump.
And that it's a misnomer because it slows you down.
Yeah, more time on the ground for these guys.
But you know what? You can't really hold the skater back. These guys want to do their thing, and when they get out there, you just can't help it. It kind of comes naturally.
Yeah, these guys are wanting to get air all the time, and Surawat not being any different at all. But you can see he kept using that ramp there nicely. A little bit of style as he comes across to finish off. And actually a good time there for Surawat.
25.53 seconds. That's our fast time so far. And one of the big guns, Takeshi Yasutoko from Osaka, Japan. Without a doubt, one of the greatest vert skaters in the world. Trying his hand now at the slalom.
You can see him using a little bit more style there and using a little bit of technique as he just folds out that back skate and just uses the front wheel there to really get himself a good pivot turn as he comes around that corner.
And Takeshi has a presence of mind to keep his wheels on the ground. Look at that little backside turn right there. might have saved him a little time, and Takeshi pumping for the finish.
Oh, that was quick. Takeshi definitely got into it then, and that is a great time. 24.72 puts him into the lead. Takeshi's going to be tough to beat.
All right, Warapod Bunyam representing Thailand, 15 years old, late birthday. He makes the cut for the event, and here we go. See that, kept his wheels on the ground.
That's right. Oh, a little bit of a sketch around the planter box. He's going to have to make up some time now. You can see him just pushing. He's not going to get any more air. He's going to really shove it there again. A little bit of a slide again on that quarter pipe, and he has got definitely some time to make up.
Well, he is chasing Takeshi. He's the leader right now with 24.72 seconds, and Warapod pumping for the finish line. A little bit of air over the launch, going to rob his time a little bit.
Yeah, not going to be enough for him there. 25.97 for Warapaj. But obviously, Keith, as he came around that first corner, it was all over from there.
Well, the crowd definitely enjoyed the action here. Let's take a look at some of the other scores from the other finalists here in the slalom event for aggressive inline.
I don't like my performance.
It's so hot. It's so hot.
I fell down. I don't like my run.
All right, let's take a look at the scores now. Japan's Takeshi Yasutoko, the only guy inside the 25-second zone. 24.72 for him earns him a gold medal and 10 more points towards the overall championship. A couple of Thai skaters earning silver and bronze, respectively, and rounding out the heat from Japan, Kazuki Amai and Ryoto Nakamura.
Well, we've taken a break from the games right here in Phuket, Thailand, and I've jumped in the back of a tuk-tuk. Now, a tuk-tuk is Thailand's version of a taxi and goes tuk-tuk, basically where the name came from. But sitting here with me is Dean, our Junior X reporter from Australia. Dean, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Dan.
Now, what do you think of Phuket, Thailand?
Phuket's very hot, the people are friendly, and it's very lovely here.
Oh, now, how did you get over here? That's the next question.
Well, I had to enter an ad on the TV, and I had to make a video.
All right, what was the video about?
I had to report, interview people, and do it. The topic was extreme sports.
Ah, now what was your specialty sport, and who did you do it with?
Inline skating, and I interviewed my friends and other inline skaters that I saw at the skate park.
Ah, good work. So, what's your goal going to be for us here at Junior X?
I'm going to interview some extreme sport people and enjoy myself.
Good work. Well, Dean, it sounds like I'm going to hand it over to you because you've got it well under control. There you go, mate.
Thanks, Dan. I'll see you after the break.
Still tons more action coming up on Disney's JX2 as we head down to the park course for the Skateboard Park Finals. We'll talk to the climbing pros on keeping it safe. And the boys fly up that speed wall.
Who's your favorite artist?
My favorite singer is Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. Favorite band is Westlife.
No boy bands.
Limp Bizkit. Blink-182.
Eminem.
Matchbox 20. Pearl Jam.
LL Cool J.
TLC.
DMX.
I like all kinds of music except classical.
I love the Junior X2. Now, isn't Dean doing such a good job? He's our special reporter that won the competition, and I'm very proud of him. He's doing very well. Good on you, Dean. Now, I'm back here all by myself, so I'm going to get back to the Junior X2. Now, here's skateboarding.
Skateboards. It's over 50 years old, but definitely the coolest thing on wheels.
None of that works! Sorry, mate.
Oh, you okay? Are you alright? Dan, you okay?
Yes, thank you.
Skateboards. After 50 years of evolution, it comes in different shapes and sizes.
That's right. You can see right here, we've got a slalom board, a little bit shorter with a little bit of a weird bend in the middle. We've also got the longboard.
Cool.
Kind of like a surfboard on wheels here. Gets lots of speed, doesn't get very many breaks.
Dan will know about that.
Thank you very much, Jen. But here at Junior X, most of the athletes will be using street boards.
That's right. So let's get things going for the continuation of third day of JX2.
Skateboarders always have a prominent style, you know?
Check it out.
It's a culture all of its own. Mostly the baggy pants. Yeah.
It's loose and big.
Big, floppy baggy pants.
What's with the baggy pants? So you can skate better. You can't skate with tight pants.
Well, I won't wear my pants down where he wears them.
I think skaters are so used to it that that's their style now.
that's the way we do it.
Skateboarding.
It's all about style, Keith. The park final top 10 semi-finalists have advanced. 2 runs each, 50 seconds per run. The judges will be awarding points out of 100.
And taking a quick look at the running order, we have good representation around Asia and Australia as well. Going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. The crowd definitely anticipating the action and ready to see it flow down skateboard style on the park course, Brother Brew.
That's right, Keith. Amazing skill levels. Let's see what Chris Lambert has to say about it.
I can't even believe they know even how to stand on a skateboard. These kids are dropping in on ramps that some of my friends would be scared on dropping in on.
Well, Chris is a believer now, and those who aren't are about to be. These kids just absolutely stepping up. I'm going out on a limb here, Bruce. There is not a discipline that has excelled as much as skateboarding this year. And Noah Akbar Bosley from Indonesia, first guy off the deck.
Starts off over that first box, gets a little grab in there. You can see he's just going to take his time. He's going to set his run. It's all about getting his best tricks in front of the judges.
Well, if you rush yourself through these runs, there's just no way you can keep your head together, and there's no way you can keep your board under your feet. How about that sweet kickflip right there, up onto the box, kickflip to fakie.
Yeah, you can see him just mixing it up here, making sure he uses as much of this park course as he can, using every jump that he can. The little falls aren't going to hurt him too much, though. But check out this kickflip. Look at the height on that. Sticks it, a little bit sketchy on the landing, but rides it out clean.
And rewarded with a score of 81.5 for Noah Akbar Bosley. And next off the deck, the little style master, Benji Bo. One of my favorites of the event this year. This kid, fearless. Check it out, the huge transfer off the sub box.
10 years old and not scared. Comes off the top and just drops in. The judges are going to be happy to see that.
Now look at how he's using his knees to pump his way through the course.
Over the planter box there. Reaches down and grabs that board on the backside.
At 10 years old, this kid's got more style in his little finger than most. Huge. Taking it over the spine. Grabbing it nice and clean and solid.
Look at this once again. Benji, that huge drop in. Just absolutely nailing it over the spine. Benji absolutely ripping it up out there. Good score for him of 82.
Yeah, Benji absolutely fearless. You know, he's good friends with CJ Wellsmore. Says his greatest fear, hitting his shins. Well, they're not very big, so he doesn't have a big target. But, you know, at 10 years old, already a veteran to competitions. And this guy as well, Blake Ellis, one of the most experienced skateboarders out here. Really a vert style skater, but giving it a go on the park course right here. He's got some style. Check him out.
Nice big Indy over that box to start off, and you see that Blake decided to drop in from the big quarter pipe. That's a huge drop in there for Blake. Gets that little kick flip in there to fakie.
That's going to be time for Blake. Going to try and stick one more trick here just because he can. Takes that front side Indy, half cabin, coming back down. And Blake Ellis, a surfer. One of his proudest achievements, his success at last year's Junior X.
A score of 87 and the lead for Blake Ellis.
And Anyusorn Sontanaraku from Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok at least does have some skate parks and some ramps, giving these kids a little opportunity. Have a little 50-50 on the planter box.
And Anyusorn just getting himself set again. You can see he's thought about his run. He's decided where he wants to go for each of these tricks so that he can showcase his best. Oh, very nice. Takes that double bar grind. Little kick flip to fakie there. And that will be the end of time for Anyusorn. Look at this, Keith. This takes a lot of practice. Oh, and just edging into the lead, a score of 87.5 for Anyusorn. And Kobe Murphy, once again, from Melbourne, Australia, just wanting a little bit of encouragement from the crowd.
Hamming it up a little bit. And these kids really do get charged up by the crowd. You know, this is the first time that a lot of these kids have ever skated in front of a crowd like this. Nice kickflip right there.
Oh, not quite getting hold of that one. He could probably do it with a little bit more speed, using more of that ramp there. But Kobe Murphy still with a little bit more time to drop in once again.
Well, it looked like he was trying to throw down that kickflip to fakie right there in the transition. Instead, how about a little frontside board slide down that bar? There's a kickflip to fakie right there, sticking it.
And a 180 to finish off. 78.5 the score for Kobe Murphy. But that 180 kickflip was absolutely sensational in his run.
Right on. And a look at some of our other finalists. Check that out, man. These kids is really, really stepping up this year in the skateboard event.
Ramps are better.
Where's better?
I performed very well.
Oh, it was alright. Could have went a lot faster.
And taking a look at the scores, surprisingly, a Thai skater, Enisorn Sotanarakool, takes the gold medal and 10 points towards his championship. Blake Ellis from Australia earns the silver, and Benji Bo, my boy, taking the bronze. Rounding it out from Chinese Taipei, Chen Chi Wen.
From the start, make sure you always stretch up and warm up before you start your climbing.
Check your harness.
Check your harness, always.
Do everything properly. You mustn't be careless.
Breathe. Yeah, because when you get pumped and stuff, you tend to hold your breath because like you're holding yourself on a wall and
learn how to fall.
I mean, with climbing, you do worry about falls.
Make sure you try and fall to the side. If you land on your feet, you can hit yourself in your chin or on your nose with your knee.
Sports climbing.
All right, all the safety checks are done. We've got the floodlights on, and we're about to go speed climbing. One man against the other. Head-to-head competition. We started with 24 climbers. We've cut it down to the top 8. It is 1-on-1. You win, you're through to the next round.
So you're done. You're over with. Thanks for coming.
Enjoy
Stay
the
as
rest
long
of
as
your
you
night.
like. It's
We'll be
a
here all
beautiful
week.
night in Thailand. Hang out as long as you'd like to. For sure, the crowd on hand, ready to see it flow.
I think I'll do pretty well. We're looking at first, second, or third. It's anyone's game.
Keep cool and concentrate. We're for him.
And some good words of encouragement from Andrew Robles' mother and Tagoy Ledesma's brother. And here we go. This is some highlights from our semifinal action to let you know how we sorted out the field to get to the top 8 that will compete in the finals here, have a chance at gold medals and earning those points for the overall championships.
Yeah, you can see exactly how it works. One against the other. The rules are simple. Just get to the top of the wall.
That's right. All right, and Bruce, this isn't really all about strength. It's not about reach. It's about technique. You really got to keep moving forward at all times. Keep your head looking up above at the holds ahead of you so you can always keep forward progress. All right, in our first bracket, Tagoy Ledesma on the left, Terry Chong on the right.
You can see how important that start is. Not wasting any time at all. Tagoy, look at the rhythm here at the moment. You can see that Terry's just having a little bit of trouble picking where he's going, but Tagoy, there's one eye ahead at all times.
Well, as I said earlier, it's forward progress, and Tagoy always looking up where Terry kind of looking down at his footholds, looking in front of him at the next hold. You got to always have forward progress. You've always got to be looking ahead of you to the next hold.
All right, and Tagoy moving on to the next round.
Yeah, he's pretty stoked. Without a doubt, and the crowd really plays an important part in this speed climbing. It really does. It really juices these climbers up, gives them a little extra adrenaline rush. There's James Cassay from Melbourne, Australia, on the right-hand side.
This should be a good matchup. Expect a really good run here. Look at the speed here. Andrew Robles, he's just absolutely fluid as he just flies up that left side of the wall. Little
couple of slips right there, and James going to try and make up some ground here and really doing a good job of it. Look at the reach that James is putting in here and lunges, a dynamic move to get to the top where it looked like he had no hope at all. And it's James Cassay that's going to advance after the round.
You can see the extra reach there really came into play for James. He wasn't quite as high as Andrew, but the extra reach, the extra pull just pushed off those last couple of holds.
Well, when you lunge like that, we call that a dynamic move, when you basically just jump to the next hold. And definitely paid off for James Cassay there.
He's made his way into the final. Here it is, head-to-head. James against Tagoy. This is it, do or die, gold or silver at this point. Watch this final.
Oh, and Tagoy Ledesma with the early advantage, but you know James can make up some ground because he's got the reach, but Tagoy not even looking anywhere but to that top rock, and look at him go. It's all Tagoy Ledesma.
Doing it pretty easy. Once again, Keith, he doesn't have that extra reach. He doesn't look like he really has the strength that James has, but he's definitely got the technique. It's all about just moving ahead.
Well, you've got to be nimble, you got to be dexterous, and you got to always look forward.
Oh, and savoring the gold from the Philippines. Tagoy Ledesma, very happy with that win, of course.
Look at some of the other finalists in the bracket here.
I feel great. First gold after 2 years. Oh, that was good.
And a super stoked Tagoy Ledesma after last year's silver takes the gold and 10 points towards the championship. James Cassay takes the silver And Andrew Robles earns the bronze. In the overall standings, it's James Cassé with 17 points, Andrew Robles with a 2-point deficit.
Well, there's only 2 more days to go till we find out who our JX2 champions will be.
What about Japan's Takeshi Yasutoko, the champion from the first Junior X? Back this year to defend his title. Dan, he's pretty awesome, isn't he?
Yeah, we've both seen him in action, and he's going to be a very tough man to beat. But I'm fairly impressed with our new batch of athletes. They're going to give him a run for his money.
And you never know what's in store in the last few rounds of the competition. Until then, I will hold my breath. Well, figuratively anyway.
Oh, Jen, all right, it's time for us two to get going, but don't you go anywhere because you're just about to find out what's happening next on the Disney Channel and ESPN's Junior X Games 2, presented by Toyota.
On J4, we'll let you in on the future stars of the Junior X Games. The best and worst of Bicycle Stunt Park and the Girls Bouldering Finals. See you then at the X.